By Jove, I'm here, I think. Hello. Hello, everybody. Yeah, why is this in miniature? Only two chat rules. Please. Be over the age of 17 and please be kind to one another. Okay, let's see if I can pop out my chat. Move it over here. I don't know why my chat has suddenly gone mini on me. In that it is so small I can barely read it, guys. I will do the very best I can. Oh, Zoom. Yeah, let's zoom to. There we go. Oh, that's better. Zoom to 100. There seems to be a new Zoom button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yay, we are here. We are live. It is not Memorex. Okay, let me start from the top. Hi, Jill. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Daryl Lynn. Hello, Barb. Um, Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much for choosing to be here. I am so very, very glad to finally, after what, let's see, I was going to stream on Christmas. I streamed the Sunday before. I was going to stream on Christmas. The Christmas was what, Friday? I think Christmas was Friday. Internet went down that Wednesday. Because guess what, everybody? That's not one of the things that they have to leave on. So they didn't. And it was a little bit before I could get the wherewithal to get it to where I could make them turn it back on. And then when they did, it didn't come up. And so then they had to send a technician out who determined that there was a reset button on my router that needed to be pushed, which I could have done easily here from home. But apparently the people in the office didn't know, and blah, 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 blah. So standard answer, we'll send a technician. During a pandemic. Right, okay. That's not good. Anyway, hi everybody, and I'm here. I'm actually here. How is everyone? And how is everybody? And yes, you know I will make comment about the events of this week, but not just yet. I still have to wait to cool down. I was just watching some videos, and I was like, I get all fired up about it, and then I have to wait till I get a smoother edge on my temper. Um, and all right, so Jill is good. And did everybody have a good Christmas? Were you able to visit with your families via Zoom or chat or FaceTime or even in person if that's what you did? I know I have a good friend who actually, in defiance of every rule, got on an airplane and flew to Texas to be with her grandbabies. And, I can hardly fault her for that. They're, they're, they're her grandbabies, for heaven's sakes. And so anyway, I hope everybody got to spend a little time with their families and otherwise had a sort of safe and sane holiday, holiday and New Year's and all of that. Let me tell you what, it is very, very quiet in this house if there's no, no internet entertainment to be had. Barb, you did too. You went and spent time with family in Utah. And oh, good. I'm glad all is well. And hopefully everything will remain to be well with all of us. I know that there are a few of us who have sort of gotten this and are weathering it or whatever. You got to see your 91-year-old mom and a few other members. Oh, good. I'm glad. Really glad. Jill, I think I think it is so important, especially, at 91, you just don't know whether or not you're going to have them next year anyway. So, I have no objections to people doing whatever it is that they want to do as long as they're not breathing in my face. Anyway, I thought we would color today in Flora using Inktense. Figure I better come back a little bit slow. And I wanted to do this picture because I like the fact that I can do a really cool painted bunting on this. So I'll show you my interpretation of a painted bunting. This was that weird Christmas card that I did. And so we'll go from there. Let me get rid of the, hang on, let me get rid of the autofocus. And we'll take the white balance and we'll make it a little bit warmer. Oh, yes. That's a much nicer shade of flesh. And let's see, we'll go this away. Actually, let's take the camera this away. All right. And of course, my beloved Inktense. I am so confused now. It's hard to work on the left side of the book. Yeah, it's hard to work on the left side of the book this way. I almost want to put something under here. Let me see if I can find something. We use one of Sue's books. Yes. All right. See, that way it holds a little bit more stable. So let me do that. And just talk amongst yourselves while it's fuzzy. Okay. I'll fix the focus. I will fix the focus. Fuzzy. Well, not real happy about the way that is either. See, this is why those, those books that have those nifty, that's too thick. It's okay. We'll just wing it. How about that? Those books that have the nifty lay flat, you know what I'm talking about, right? Whoops. Oh, is that a little bit better? I'll get you down closer to on top of it here in a second, but ooh. Well, yeah, all right. It'll have to do for right this very second. Hi, Rain. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. Now let me see if I can get it. Let's move that out of the way. There we go. Okay. Still fuzzy? Well, let me know in just a second. In the meantime, let me just get started. Okay. So my beautiful Inktense, lovely little pencils. Looks good to you. Okay, good. All right, so I want to start with a lovely red on the outside of the bird up here. So I'm going to do that. And I'm doing red in there. And then I'm going to do like an amber or a gold to the inside. And actually, I want you even closer than that. So now I got to fix the focus again. Looks a little bit better to me. Yay, Lisa. Okay, Lisa, I owe you a huge apology, and you know why. I will tell you that I was without internet from a couple of days before Christmas all the way through to this week. Now, that doesn't excuse my not having said thank you before right this very minute, but thank you so much for your kind Christmas gift, and I so appreciate that. You actually have no idea. I had no idea it was even there. and 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 so thank you for the coffee. Is what I want to say. Thank you so much for the coffee. That was the amber. That's not the color I want. I want the mustard. Or actually the tan will do. We'll use the tan a little bit to the inside here. And then maybe a little bit of the golden yellow. So this, yes, here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sort of get this particular section, and I'm going to do this in little bitty sections. So in case that, for all the code, Lisa sent me a nice channel donation for as a Christmas gift. So unfortunately, with the channel being down, I used it for coffee because I figured that my sanity was important. And I had been actually out of coffee for about 3 weeks. And but I do have to say that I was just delighted to receive in the mail the other day the notification that my Social Security has been approved. So I will, I'm old, so I will be getting back from a system that I paid into all my life. And that delights me no end, actually. All my working life, I've paid into that system. I was hoping that I would live long enough to take something back. And now it appears I have. You are bursting at the seams. You bought yourself a new set of colored pencils you hadn't heard of called, the Hin Tongue. Okay. Colored pencils, 72 to a set, very creamy. Yes. That is actually, it's almost, I think, the same pencil as these. Speaking of as the Deli Star Joys, Speaking of which, did everybody see Lori over at Color My World when she has now discovered the deli pencils? I had a laugh because, of course, we've known about them now here on our channel for years, for a couple of years. And she's like, they're like new. And, and she's was so impressed. And I love that somebody with a voice as authoritative as hers agrees with me that they are basically polychromos. I mean, that's it. It's polychromos for $30. A whole set of them. Um, so I just chuckled when I saw that video. Also, I do want to point out, although and you guys who have watched me for a while know that this is a rather significant thing for me to do. But I have a channel shout out for Ed Travers. Now, Ed Travers is not somebody I'd ever heard of, but I was YouTube recommended his video on the basis that I like Beau of the Fifth Column. I watch Beau a lot, and Ed is an Anglican priest at a church in Nova Scotia, and I am a firm agnostic. That's different than an atheist. I believe in a power greater than myself. I'm just not certain that anybody's quite gotten it nailed down. And the message that he delivers is real and heartfelt and honest and without any hypocrisy in it at all. It's self-examining and it's pure love. I mean, it's pure. Jesus is love, and that is a message that just resonated with me. So I'm sharing that with you guys by having discovered that channel. It was a truly delightful find today, and I needed a delightful find today. You're Kathy is sorry, hang on. It's in the description of this video. There's a direct link. And I'll get it for you here in just 1 second. Oops. Oh. Sticky notes. Since I don't think I have a mod, there it is. It's called Ed Travers. Hang on. I'm going to mute you. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's called Ed Travers. And he doesn't soft soap things. Yeah, they're like little 6 to 8 minute videos that are all about messaging. Obviously, his messages this week have been pretty harsh as far as folks, dragging Jesus' name into the events of the days. And that is most decidedly not what, not a message that would have resonated with this particular man. I like him. I liked it. I like him. And that's for me. I am, like I said, I'm not anti-religion. I think that people should be able to believe whatever it is that they have chosen as their faith. I think that there are as many truths as there are human beings. But it is just so nice to see somebody who is that self-examining and context and motivation and all of those types of things that are so important. When you're trying to get a message across, especially one as important as is, the message of faith. So I think it's fascinating. And I like him, which is in and of itself saying something. And so I actually commented stuff like that to him, like like, where did you come from? And why weren't you around when I was choosing things like this? All right, so this is a dark, obviously, I'm going for the blue down here. It's going to have, now this is a painted bunting. Painted buntings actually occur like this, by the way, in nature. They are just these incredibly colorful birds, little birds, that are just amazing. I've got one in my Flowers and Flyers. It's the opening drawing that I did for Flowers and Flyers. Is the painted bunting. Okay. I'm just trying to blend those two lines in together. Christine, smile. My dad put YouTube on the TV. You're 65. Oh my goodness. Oh goody. Well, in that case, then you can see every little mistake. Oh, excuse me. I think that's funny. Okay, so now the top is going to be green, and let's pick a nice. We'll pick a nice green for that. How about a nice field? We'll pick a field green. For up here. And I put that on pretty heavy. And then I want a nice apple green. Oh, that's the spring green. That'll work. I'm going to put this on fairly lightly. Right in there. So then tab off. Come up here. Now, the rest of the bird is actually a very light blue, but the head is colorful. So, now this also is green. So I have the field green. Once again, just sort of heavy in there, maybe a little bit along that outside edge. Okay. And then a nice layer of the spring green. How is that at 65 inches, Daryl? Yeah, that's pretty funny. 65 inches, wow. You can see every little imperfection at that magnification. Okay. Oh, there we go. And then, of course, they get little gold eyes. So, go with a nice amber. Amber? No, I want the mustard. I really want the mustard. No, I don't. We'll go ahead and take the golden yellow, since it does, like I say, it is my favorite, seems to be my favorite color. We'll do that. Yeah, sorry, I just want to darken that up just a bit. We'll add a little bit of more color to that. I also want to add it here, sort of blur that in if I can. Okay. All right. So just like that, there is the head. I love it. And welcome to all of the people who have come in. Hi, Wilson, or hi Wilson. Oh, Wilson, H. Wilson. Hi, H. Wilson. If I remember correctly, that's Heather, right? I could be wrong. Okay. Let's see. Now we have some. The rest of this bird is typically blue, light blue. So I'm trying to think of how I should do light blue. And I know I need to pull in a Payne's gray. Oops. No, that's the neutral gray. Sorry. Here, let me pull this. Neutral gray. There's the Payne's gray. So Payne's gray is a gray that has a decidedly blue tinge. And so I want to put a little bit of that lightly in some of these areas. I also want to wish my dear friend Marty Woods he is so generous at sharing with other artists his process uh, for success, basically. Marty he he really works at establishing his art business from and Melinda, hi and welcome. And Melinda, you are another one to whom I owe an apology. And I want everybody to know that that's why I'm doing it publicly. Um, I was without internet for about 3 weeks, well, 2 weeks, and so I did not know that you had sent a gift, and so I want to say thank you very much. I did not know it was there until my internet came back up on Wednesday. Now that is not an excuse for me not having written before today, but thank you. I just want to say thank you, and you also have once again uh, helped me to replenish the coppers. So I really, really appreciate that. My sanity will remain. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of the Payne's Gray. Now I really want to go over just this part of it with the water brush. And the reason why it's going to look a little weird is because I want to establish those shadows so they don't move and just sort of blend in. You know what I mean? So by wetting it, I will get that part of it to adhere permanently. Because Inktense, of course, once it dries, while it's not totally impervious, it does not really move. And so if you're going to do shadows and things like that, you can help establish them ahead of time. And yeah, it does. It looks a little, a little weird to just have the shadows in there. But it will eventually work out. Exactly. It's like you're making it grayscale. Exactly. And so you do that part of it, and then you can, when you add your color in on top of it, it's like already there. So make sure I've got the Payne's Gray. Anyway, yeah, I just so it's been a week. It's been a week. It's been a couple of weeks. The whole I realized a couple of things. One, my entire access to the outside world is through that computer right over there. That one right there. Everything. My banking information, uh, food delivery, whether or not I made a dime that day, everything is accessed through there. And I don't have any access to it any other way. So here's what I'd have to do. I'd have to go down and knock on my neighbor's door, right? Because he works for a living. And so I'd have to make an appointment with him to be able to go and just check and see if that day I had any money come in, into the shops. And either my Redbubble or my Spoonflower or my Etsy or my book sales or anything like that. It quite honestly never occurred to me to look at PayPal. I'm like, well, I don't have anything that pays into PayPal, except stuff at the end of the month that I check for directly at the shops that I sell through. So anyway, so that's how that went. Hang on, I'm putting coffee from one cup into coffee from the cup that is on the burner so that it can get hot again. Would I link what, please? Daryl Ann? Would I link those? I would if I knew what those were. The businesses. Oh yeah, they're already in the link. They're already down there. Well, the primary ones for coloring and stuff like that are all in. They're in the permanent part of my video descriptions. If you just keep following, keep scrolling down and scrolling down and scrolling down, there's a ton of information there on where you can find stuff. Otherwise, I certainly can. I can certainly link the red. Well, actually, the Redbubble is finished art. It's finished art on projects, and then of course, as is the Spoonflower stuff. So it's stuff that was colored by other people, not by me, but who have graciously allowed me to make products based, using textiles with their coloring work of my art. So, and there's journals and there's journals and scarves and t-shirts. And Jill, I know, bought a scarf. She actually colored one of my pages, had me make a scarf or order a scarf from her from my Redbubble shop. And so now I can add the blue in on top of those shadows. And not only is it going to add to the fact that the shadows are there, now you may wonder why I'm, sort of feeling my way around, a little bit lighter here. Excuse me. And all of that. Thank you, Lisa. That is a painted bunting. And that, like I said, that is a bird that really exists. It is that beautiful. Right now I want to switch down to this sort of darker blue. Now this is the peacock blue. And I'm just putting a little bit there under the wing, just so I can get that nice, that nice sort of dark shade. And now I've switched back to my iris blue, which is the lighter of the bird, okay, and build up a little bit more color down here underneath where the darker parts would be. We can always go back in and color adjust later, but and it does, like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, if you want yours to be yellow, make it yellow. It doesn't have to be, any particular color or whatever. I'm also going to add just a touch of this sort of spring green in here, just to be like a little bit of sunshine on the feathers, maybe. Not much, just every, here and there. Okay, so we're going to leave it just like that for right now. That's going to tell me, as I'm looking at it on the monitor, sometimes if you're looking at something on a monitor, it's easier to tell where you need to fix, where you need to add a little bit more color. Like I think I need to add a little bit more color up in here. Okay. And it's like when you draw and you want to find out, something's wrong, but you can't quite figure out what it is. If you turn the picture upside down, it will show you immediately where you're off. And so this, looking at it in the mirror or in the on the monitor over there, is exactly the same effect. Okay, I'm going to assume that I've assumed that my light is coming from the direction that, where, from over here, over there. And so it's hitting the bird right there. So that is why I've left that part light. Wiping off as I go. I love intense. It really is. It's just like magic. Oh my gosh. And it never, ever fails to impress me. Whether or not it's a spectacular fail or a perfect execution, it just never fails to impress me. This is why I love this medium. And I just keep going back to it and back to it and back to it because it's just, to me, it's like music. It just is a fit. It's the perfect fit for me and why I love to color. Why I absolutely love to color is because of this medium. I don't know that I would love it so much. I mean, maybe if I were as talented with pencils as is Sam or Sammy, she works at it so hard that, it's why she's so talented. She practices and practices and practices and practices some more. Just like all artists, it's that first 10,000 hours. You've got to get that under your belt, and then you can start to get good. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm kind of happy with that little bird. So let's move on to doing some. Now these look a little bit like a yarrow blossom. So if we go with that idea, we can go with any color we want, because yarrow typically is yellow, but we can make. I have these sort of envisioned as being pink, and so we could go with pink. Please, let's go with pink. Can we go with pink? So if we use fuchsia and as a little bit, but let's also use carmine pink. Is that a good one? Let's see. Let's come back up. Ooh, sorry, didn't mean to take you for an unexpected ride. Let's hit that autofocus, and that is one place where autofocus is a good thing. Okay, that's the deep rose, the cherry, the carmine. I think the cherry is a much better choice than the carmine. The carmine is a little, yeah, it's a little not quite what I want. So let's take the cherry. That's the chili. Sorry. That's the Shiraz. That's the chili. That's the... Oh, for heaven's sakes. If I am a cherry red, where am I? I'm right there. I'm already out. No wonder I like it. It was the color that I used there. Okay. All right, so now, so we use this cherry red. Whoops. And we're going to come right back down here. Sorry. And okay. All right. I'll bet you it's 65 inches on your screen. That was a heck of a ride. Okay, I'm going to assume that if I hold my hand down here, that is going to work. Although I could probably. Oh. Oh, I think that's better. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now what I want to do, this is another thing. When you've got little teeny tiny, super duper small space, right? As in the cases here, and you want to establish something, a detail. You've got to do that detail first. A bit dizzy, but you're safe on the couch. Good. And so This is what I'm talking about. So what I want are little yellow centers. Now, if I try to do this at the same time as I do the pink, all I'm going to end up with are little blurs. So what I need to do is establish those little centers first. And that way, at least a few of them will survive enough to, and what I'm doing is I'm just taking it directly off the tip. And I should say that Derwent in no way sponsors this channel. I've never had a conversation with them. They don't send me their product for free. This isn't an endorsement, a paid endorsement of any kind, or anything like that. I just like Inktense. What can I tell you? That's not to say that I would object if they wanted me to endorse their product. I'd be happy to do that, but I'm not doing it now. Okay. So even if you just left them white, they could be white, white yarrow. And as long as we're going to do that one, let's do the other one as well. Now, I do want to say that you have to keep track if you're going to do brush on pencil in this technique. There's a couple of things going to happen. One, if you get your wood wet, it's going to expand. And you have to wait until it is very, very dry again before you try and use that pencil. Otherwise, excuse me. Otherwise, your ink core and your wood are going to be weak because they're wet. Excuse me. So you can use the water, but don't like dip the pencil or anything like that, because you can't use Inktense that way. It'd be like dipping a watercolor stick. You don't want to do that either. Okay. Don't have to get them all, but just probably quite a few. Okay, so we've got that established. Got quite a colorful little, and yes, everybody, that is toilet paper. Not that I can afford to use my toilet paper that way, but the budget extended to coffee, but not to paper towels. So, and beside which, I mean, for, the 3 little squares of TP, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, and, hang on, I'm scratching my back. That's nice. Okay. Now we can use the cherry. And we're going to come off of here because we want a pink, right? So what I need is a diffuser. And I happen to know, oh wait, I know where it is. It's not in there. It's in here. Okay, remember when we were doing, and see, I still have that green. We were working on that one painting picture, and so it's still there. So this is the carmine, the red, okay, or the cherry, not the carmine. So I'm taking a little bit of the cherry and I'm putting it over here, and I'm adding in a little water to give it a little more pink, so it's not quite as cherry red. Then I can wash it over these. Just right over, I mean, not trying not to go directly over the yellows, but so it just goes to show that I did establish the yellows. Okay. So that makes those pink, right? And you don't have to get all of them. Hopefully you were able to see that, right? Are we in focus? I hope. Okay. Do the same thing. Oops. Okay, do the same thing with this one. Now let me just double check, make sure that's not somebody needing me to tell me that I'm out of focus or anything like that. Nope. Just my group commenting amongst each other. Okay. Same thing here. Although I think I want just a tiny bit more color in there. Yeah. That's still a little light. That's a little bit better. Okay, so that establishes the pinks. Then you can go back. Oops. Now that one I will wipe right off, because whereas this one was pigment shaving, so that's solid. The other was watered down and I don't need it anymore. So that one I'm just going to wipe right off. And now I can add, once again, not using the pencil itself, because at that point your pencil is saturated. But just in a few little spots, we'll add some darker. So we've used this same pencil to establish color mapping in 3 different ways. or at least 2. And guys, I am making this up as I go along. So, I mean, it really, you just have to, you play with your tools. Learn what they'll do. It's just, you get in what you get out what you put in. Be brave. Never doubt yourself. And admit when you've made a mistake and fix it if you can. And, and otherwise, don't hold yourself to, to too high a standard, because everybody makes, everybody makes magic in their own way. And it's okay to, to try and fail. It's okay to try and fail. Fail in the trying. It's not okay to not try at all. You know what I mean? I like that. I like the way that came out. I hope that it came out okay. I mean, that you guys can see it. And hello, Boots Mama. And hello to all of the people who are here who I have not said a personal hello to. And Melinda, thank you for putting in that link to the Etsy shop. And here's one. Actually, I better not put that in yet. I don't know that it's the one thing I haven't done. I haven't actually updated the coupon for 2020 or 2021 yet. So I need to thank you for the link in there. That reminds me that I need to go do that. I usually have those stop at the end of each calendar year. So I need to go back through and reestablish them. Okay. Aha. All right, so now 3:12. Not bad for just an hour. Okay, so now let's see. Autofocus. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so that's where we are right this very second. Now, I'm not happy with that focus. Autofocus is terrible. You know what I didn't do? Huh. Interesting. Sorry, I seem to have lost my camera zoom somewhere along the line. I'm not exactly sure why. Oh. There we go. Uh-huh. Okay, so now we can use a little bit of the tan. Okay, so in the inkjet set, of course, you have some pretty wood colors, and I happen to like the mustard, the tan, and I think for this I want the yellows. So I want the and the willow. Yeah, the mustard, the tan, and the willow for the branches. So let's go. Move that and pull this forward. So there's the mustard. There's the tan. And there's the willow. Okay, so now we're going to start with the willow, which is your dark. Now I just already established that we've got the light is coming from this direction and pointed through the bird, so it's coming maybe from down here, or reasons I'm not quite sure why it's not coming from up here, but oh well. So that's going to put this as the dark side of the tree. That's what I was trying to get to. This is the dark side of the tree. So it's the one that gets the dark color. So I am going to assume that, I mean, what is everybody doing? Are y'all able to go to your daily jobs, or are you all having to stay home, or what's going on? Or is everybody coloring their own projects and just listening as I as I natter on? Okay. So now we've got the mustard. Now mustard is my lightest shade. So I want it sort of as a highlight overall under everything. Oh, thank you, Mona. That is so kind of you to say. I'm thank you for the note, checking on me. And yeah, it just well, and of course, the fact that I made it back online on Wednesday, just literally, in time to watch the start of the debate, or the would have been the processing of the electoral votes, and then of course, remained of course glued to live television for the next until 3:45 in the morning, when it was finally established. Um, and what has surprised me in the aftermath is quite how angry I am about it. And getting more so by the day. Getting more so by the day. How dare they? But I can't go there right now, because if I do, I will, I just can't go there right now. So I must maintain a level head and just go about my business. Now that is, they're I will not sit in shadows anymore. No, won't do it. I'm not gonna turn my voice up. I'm not gonna go along to get along. I mean, if I see you being stupid, I am gonna make sure that everybody knows it. I just, there will be no more humoring of people who are ignorant. If you are ignorant, I will call you ignorant. I've just had enough. Absolutely enough. This is how we got into this position. We coddled these people, put up with their bullshit. Sorry, I cannot get started. Sorry. Nope. Can't do it. Don't go there. Okay. All right. Oh, I like that. I like that very much. Just working on unfinished diamond paintings, and you've been home with your craft. You're cleaning your desktop, and you've been reorganizing your craft and office space. Oh, that is always a big thing. I've got to do that. Bye, Lisa. And thank you, honey, for once again. And I will be over to your channel soon, everybody, so that y'all know Lisa, of course, has a wonderful coloring channel with just a ton of subscribers. So, and she does beautiful work. So go, and has pretty much everything that I know of. She got more coloring supplies than anybody I've ever seen. These nephews gave you paint by number beautiful scenery picture. Oh, wow. Oh, that's terrific, Barb. And okay, so now let's see how that looks sort of in the overall. It's a little too same from top to bottom for me, but but okay, we can make it work. Then let's find some leaves to come right off of that. Let's do those ones at the top. Now, keeping in mind that you want to, whenever possible, you don't want to like change greens. Like for instance, if I've already used this green here, there's really no point in me using a different green, but I can also pair it with something. So it doesn't have to only be green. And this, I think, is where a lot of people they run into a in a sort of a roadblock with their imagination, because they think that it's got to be, you know, it's only got to be green, right? But what if, what if you made half of it blue? Why not? And what if, well, maybe go with just blue. And maybe, so that was the peacock blue. And this is the iris blue, right? Maybe use that down there. And then we've got the field green, right? Which is sort of a greenish blue. I don't know which one of you it was that sent me positive vibes just now to get me out of that place, but thank you so very much. I felt them coming and I went, yay! All right. And, ooh, I like it. Okay. So then we can do that. And let's see here. And let's do this. Notice that see I'm going sort of heavy there. And once again, I want you to be able to actually see it. Hopefully that will work. And once again, you want to just sort of blur these lines together. I'm dabbing off up here. If I'm picking up too much pigment and I think that I'm going to lose my lighter color, then you can just brush back the opposite direction so that you're going light into dark. And that way you control how much of that other that you lose. Now, I imagine that at 65 magnification, that probably shows. But there's a couple of things we can do for that. We could either chase it back with some alcohol, by using a colorless blender of some kind to, because, it is ink. But I don't like to do that on this paper since it's double-sided designs. Or we could just ignore it, which is what I intend to do. Okay. So, yeah, there's no rule that says that a leaf has to be green. or that they all have to be this dual shade. Maybe just these two are this dual shade on this one. Oops, sorry. Trying to get my hand out of the way. Or like now, maybe this one is the spring green. So maybe this side is the light, since we've sort of already established that our light comes from this direction. So then we could take the green up here. Oops, sorry. Don't mind if I smack you around, do you? As I imagine that was quite a clang. There it is. Come out a little bit with blue underneath, just to get us out from under that other already established color. Okay. Now we can use our water brush. Oh, look, I picked up a cat hair. Imagine that. Coriander has been just absolutely delighted while I was, trying to gather every bit of resource I could find to, to reestablish my internet connection. I ran out of cat food, and so she's been eating organic salmon burgers that were part of that lot of stuff that my neighbor brought over from the clear out of the organic section in his grocery store. And so, it's like she's been in seventh heaven. All right. So yeah, I like the way that works. I like the way that works. So you don't have to always be stuck with green. You can think outside the box a little bit, and and maybe end up with some really pretty combinations of things. So it's really up to you guys as far as any colors that you use. But I know that I really admire colorists who can see I mean, they get the idea across that it's green, but they do it also with blue and lavender, and you know what I mean? When you look at art and at paintings, and you think, okay, well, that looks beige, but then you look at it and you realize that it's not beige. It's actually cream and plum and lavender and and all of these other different brush strokes and different colors that all work together to make you think it's beige. It's like you scratch your head and you're going, what? How is that possible? And yet it is. It's like, just I urge you to look at look at photographs in a magazine, and and look at somebody's skin, and then tell me what color it is. The first time I saw Sammy pick up a purple pencil to color skin, I was like, she's crazy. And yet she was right. It was purple. I mean, it was absolutely purple. And it was perfect. See, I like it. I like it, like it, like it. Once again, I'm just, making it up as I go along. And okay. Ooh. All right. Now I can pull directly once again off of my pencil. Okay, so I got that. And I'm going to go ahead and pull from the, from the peacock as well. Just to give it a little bit of interest there. Yeah, exactly, Melinda. That's exactly the case. And it's just, and yeah, she is a spoiled kitty, believe me, with her little plate, her little uh, dish up here on the desk where she gets her part of whatever it is I'm eating. Of course, it's well, part of that is a self-defense thing. It's the only way I can get her to leave me alone and get her. She's literally developed. I think she's been watching Simon's Cat on YouTube when I'm not around, because she's become really adept at the one paw sneak. That just snatching it off the plate kind of thing before you can even realize that she's done it. So hang on a second. I'm pulling back here for a particular reason, and that is that if I don't go pay a little rent on all this coffee I've been drinking, well, I'm not going to make it to the 4 o'clock hour. So I will be right back, if that's okay with you. Everybody, go grab a coffee and we'll meet right back here. No, wait. Where is it? Okay, be right back. Okay. Yay. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Whoops. Okay. And we are back. Okay. So now I can, and they don't all have to well, in this case, I think they all should be greens, or, you know, and maybe just keep the blues to the outside areas as opposed to, you know, do each one of them type blue, maybe just blue in the outside to just sort of pull the bird color out to those particular areas as well. I'm looking for my eraser because apparently I have got schmutz on my page. I don't know how I got schmutz on my page, but there we go. All right. So now back to, oh, there we go. Back to good focus. All right, so then we can just do, like for instance, I think these should definitely be the darker green. Oops. Got a little bit there on the outside. It's kind of a rough angle for me to, there we go. That's better. That's better. Maybe make that one a little lighter. And this one, of course, be a little darker because it's in the back. lighter here on the edge. With the spring green. Sort of talking myself all the way through it. Organizing. Well, I think it's like everything else. It becomes chaos. It's always worse right before it's better. You know what I mean? Because in order to do it, you gotta tear it apart. You gotta, so you end up with stacks of everything. I've been seeing this videos about these people who are doing it's called Swedish death cleaning, and it's basically it's clearing out those things that you wouldn't necessarily want to still be holding on to if you were clearing out your own estate house. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because there are things that are that are sentimental to me, but they're not, none of my heirs are ever going to want them. And, and I'm hanging on like all the stuff that I inherited from my mother, my mother's Rosenthal china. I know what it meant to her, but here's the bottom line. I've had it for, I'm 60. She was 20 when I died. I was 20 when she died. I've had it for 40 years, 42 years. You know how many times I've used it? 0. It's taken up room in my cabinet, for heaven's sakes. I've used it 0 times. But I hang on to it. I carted it across the country. You can't put it in the microwave. You got to hand wash it. Time to use it tonight. Well, yeah, except that I cook everything in the microwave. If it's not a microwave safe object, then it's got no business being in my house. I of course I use my oven, but you can't use it there either. A china plate is just in today's society, unless it's just not, you can get something equally as beautiful that you can put in the microwave or in the dishwasher. For heaven's sakes, it's got gold leaf all over it. And that's terrific, except that you can't put it in the washing, or you can't put it in you have to hand wash it. You can't use it for anything functional. It's good for holidays. And you want to know when the last time I celebrated a holiday with somebody was? Long time ago. Oh, speaking of which, that's been one of the reasons why I'm dealing with a bit of a disappointment, actually. I found out who my ex supported in the last election, and it made me rethink the entire 10 years we were together. Because and this, by the way, is but of course that was before. I have to remember that he and I were together before life and death politics, so I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't know that. All right, I like that. I like the way that looks. Yeah, maybe time to sell. Yeah, but there's no market for it. That's just it. There's no market because nobody's buying it. You know, that is in fact the problem. Now, I could probably sell it to Replacements Inc. Um, yeah, exactly. It, of course, it does. It all has gold leaf on it. It's gorgeous. And then I have my aunt's set, which is the same deal. Uh, and but my aunt's set is, I mean, my mother's set is absolutely gorgeous. It's called Shadow Rose, and it's basically it's very appealing to me because it's very calm, very plain, very. It's got this beautiful little brown rose, really well drawn, ink, like a pen and ink rose, only it's brown, uh, in the middle of it, and with each stem is just like a single stem. It's perfect little stem with a couple of leaves and all of that. And I love it. I've always loved it. It's beautiful. Well, yeah, Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, no. I've established the value on the set. The value of the set's about $1,200, but nobody wants it. That's just it. So I could piece it out, but then I have to deal with the shipping and the this, that, and the other thing. It's like, you know what? It's almost going to be easier to just donate it, takes the tax write off, and then let somebody else do it. Let somebody else deal with the the because it's just too much of a hassle. It's just too much of a hassle to do the shipping and all of that. I did my uncle's, well, actually my sister's uncle's estate. She and I had different mothers, so she had an uncle that wasn't my uncle. Uh, but I helped them sell that out. And let me tell you what, we made about $30,000. We shipped, first off, the first thing that we did is we had to ship the entire estate from the house from the West Coast to the East Coast. So we got it, and it all got delivered to me. And I took on, for a fee, I took on the responsibility of selling it all off on eBay and getting, doing all the shipping. I've got a Uline account, the whole nine for all the shipping supplies and all of those types of things that I had, from my jewelry business anyway. And so I was already set up with all of the logistics, the postage on demand and all of that kind of stuff. And so I sold this set off. I never ever want to do that again. Not ever. Are you kidding me? Between the insurance and the claims and the people that are just chicken shit frauds, sorry. Uh, the guys that would get a piece of absolutely flawless because it had never been out of the box. Swarovski crystal, who would then claim it was chipped. They would return a chipped one in the original box that was not the one I sent. And there was nothing I could do about it. Nothing. I'm like, no, no, I'm done. I'm done. That's it. I want to. I had one guy. He, I sent a piece, and it's my own fault. Actually, I shouldn't say this. I sent a piece of Yadro. If you know what Yadro is, it's like the most fragile porcelain that's ever been made. You breathe on this stuff, and it shatters. And I original case all the way to South Korea, and it made it perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. And the guy was so thrilled with the way it was packed and all the care that I had taken and all of that kind of good stuff. And I was just absolutely delighted. And yet I would send out a piece of Swarovski crystal, brand new, completely fitted, never been out of the case. And, and then have somebody tell me blah, 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 blah. And I know, but then I got to pack it and ship it. Do you have any idea, Daryl Lynn, what it takes to pack a box of china for shipping? For actual shipping, if you don't have the original china, it's just no, not doing it. There, there is, even if I had an unlimited bubble wrap account anymore. I used to buy bubble wrap by the 5-foot rolls. And I mean, 5 feet in diameter rolls. For $1,200, well, no, Rain, it's really not. It's not because, well, all right. I can see how, yes, it would be. And if I could sell it locally, it would be worth it. But when you start adding the shipping and the insurance and the headaches and the this, that, and the other thing, and that's as a set. I could get a lot more for it if I pieced it out. I mean, and this is why I never sell it. I never sell it because it's a hassle. And yet, somebody's going to sell it someday. Because it's a surefire bet that folks don't really want it. I mean, at least not. I mean, I gave my niece and nephew my grandmother gave me this beautiful silver basket on the day that I got married. And so when they got married, I passed it along to them. And they were very gracious about it and all of that. But I could tell that they were not thrilled by a gift of silver, because silver, of course, has to be cleaned. And it's not useful in today's society. You have to remember that times change, people change, tastes change. And while there is still a market for beautiful things, that market is changing because technology's changed. It's easier now to make good quality porcelain that can go in the microwave or can go in the dishwasher or can go. And so what you find today in, say for sale in a, and I'm just adding just a little yellow, just to add a little color to this stem work here. So yes, but there's also the difference between recognizing something that is merely old and something that is valuable. And like I say, something that may have a sentimental, like I know the story of how my mother picked up this china. She picked it out on the honeymoon trip that she took with my dad after they got married, la da 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 da. And so, I knew the story behind it, but that makes it sentimental to me. but not to anybody else. And so anyway, but yes, I mean, I don't disagree that it is certainly nothing. The $1,200 is nothing to sneeze at. Absolutely nothing to sneeze at. Like I say, it's worth a lot more if I were to piece it out. But sell like the butter dish and all of that. But then you get to the plates and who wants to break up a set? I mean, why would that's why if you're gonna sell it to somebody like Replacements Inc., where where it's actually in the business of. I mean, that's how I got the butter dish, is because I bought it from Replacements Inc. The butter dish had been broken in some holiday or another. But even at all of that, we only ever used it once a year, and only on Thanksgiving Day. Otherwise, everything else was was the everyday dishes. And that was before 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 we had a dishwasher in every house and a and microwaves on literally every countertop. Thank goodness for microwave safe plates. I didn't realize that that some pretty glass plates that I had, they were just clear glass, weren't microwave safe glass. I realized it after I put one in the microwave, and it shattered into a million pieces. I mean, it like literally blew up. This piece of glass. And so I was so shocked that could happen that I put a second one in, and it did exactly the same thing. I went, oh, well, I guess that's that kind of glass, it just doesn't work well in a microwave. Yeah. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. I was shocked. I've never seen glass blow up like that. And I have no idea what was in that glass. Mercury? Not mercury. Some silver, maybe. Maybe it was silver glass. I don't know, but man, it just pop, and it just shattered. It didn't keep shattering. It just, it just popped and shattered. That's it. And then the little pieces just lay there dead in the bottom of the microwave. I think this may have to be the last leaf, guys. I did see a couple of posts by Jo Beth this last couple of weeks. I know she's been working on some journals and things like that to keep her mind occupied, she says. So my heart goes out to her, and I wish her good luck. She and Mark. And okay, well, Daryl Lynn, I'm very glad you feel that way about it. I love being here with everyone too, which is why I'm so very, very glad that I got to come back. And I will do my very level best to get back to work so that this doesn't happen again. Uh, like I say, I am just thrilled and delighted that come May 1st, I won't have to worry about monthly bills anymore. Not, not for the remainder of my lifetime. So, that'll be good. And then, or at least not, I won't have to worry about supporting my monthly bills solely with the art that I'm able to make. The art that I'm able to make will then be a bonus on top of all of that. And yeah, and thank you. Yeah, Kathy, I'm thrilled too. I really never thought I'd live to collect. I really never thought I would. And so the fact that knocking on wood, if I make it to May 1st, and that first wire transfer shows up, I'll be Yahoo all the way. In the meantime, I understand that there's like $600 out there somewhere with my name on it, and I'll believe that when it actually shows up. So I gave up on that a long, long time ago. So if it ever shows up, then that'll be the ticket. Mona, thank you. Yeah, you didn't miss much. I mean, I was decidedly, hopefully, not, sorry, not controversial today. Uh, and yeah, I'm just perfectly well. Health, health-wise, I'm actually pretty good. Although you never know it by this cough, right? This is more of a anxious, that I've been doing an awful lot of talking. So yeah, all right. So this is where we are. We will continue on this, I believe, soon. And whether or not it's a midweek video, sorry, or a next week thing remains to be seen. I won't make promises. Excuse me, and then not keep them. Hang on. Putting on your mute. Okay. Oh, that's much better. And well, hi Risa, how are you? And well, yeah, and like I've said before, and I will say it again. I did this to my life. I screwed up. I quit working too soon, and then I didn't act quick enough in finding a new job, a new permanent type job, until I'd already aged out of the system, aged really out of the workforce of being able to do anything that was, that could earn me the kind of income that I needed. So, oh, Jill, yeah, well, it will. And it will, trust me. It will. They'll find a way, because and never mind. I'm not going there. They'll find a way. We'll find a way. We are always, we're Americans. We're resilient. There will always be a way. And on that note, until we meet again, everybody, next week, color something pretty. I hope you all have a safe and sane week. See you soon.